Hi guys, Jam's Reviews here again with another DVD review. This one is of the 2014 film Exorcism. It's released by 101 Films, of which I'm a fan of. They don't really release the best films, but I like them. You know, they've got an active Facebook profile, and they do release a lot of films, and to my liking, mainly horror, and they mainly go quite cheap as well. This one in particular, I seen in Asda. I think at first it was £8. I didn't want to buy it for that much part way because I know with 101 Films they do have a habit in Asda of going really cheap. Within 2 weeks of its release, it was £3. So I picked that up. I wasn't expecting absolutely anything from this. You know, I've got quite this, just a couple of my DVDs here, and the rest are all boxed away because I'm currently moving house. I've got a couple here already, all purchased brand new from Asda. So I am a fan of 101 Films. This one, of course, Exorcism, Exorcist. Very similar title, and the plot itself is very similar. Basically, it follows a group of people, English, I think they're English, yes, and they are basically trying to film an Exorcist-ish film. They're basically copying it, basically, you know, they've got like a remote house in the countryside, and they're going to go there, film this Exorcist-ish film. It's basically the same, to be completely honest with you. Anyway, it starts off with like a party scene and other various films. It's found footage, by the way. And the first half of the film was so tedious. So tedious. Like, it was literally them at a party, then it would cut to something else, and cut them back to the party, and it all seemed really irrelevant, you know. Maybe it was introducing the characters, but it took way too long to do so. And there was like all the scenes were divided by this, like, it's a black screen. It looked like they just gone on paint and put previously and then now at the party, and it was really tedious. So I'd say 5 minutes later or 1 hour later, and it was, I feel like a good 5 minutes of the film's 73 minutes were probably just a black screen with white writing on it. That really didn't need to have that. They could easily just done a jump. They didn't need to say 5 minutes later or whatever like that. It was, you know, it felt very amateurish. And then there's another bit where it's like 10 minutes of basically driving, and they're in a van, and it's just them driving around the countryside talking about crap. I mean, I think they did like a game, and it was so uneventful, so boring. You was kind of hoping something would happen, like a flat tire, something eventful. But no, they got there unscathed. And then they sort of ended up a couple of minutes walking to the house, talking about crap, and then finally they get there, and that's when things do get a little bit interesting. Now I did have fun with this film. It wasn't very good, but I had fun with it. So they're at the house, you set up filming, and the director is an absolute dick. There's a girl there, I forgot her name, I believe it's Katie. She was supposed to be the main character of their film, but you know, she got shunned for a younger actress, and therefore she puts a curse on them or something like that. She starts chanting in the mirror some weird stuff, which is really weird. So yeah, she does that. So when they get there, they start this exorcism, and things start to go wrong. Someone gets electrocuted. The guy with the boom mic is hearing weird noises, which sounds quite good, but it wasn't executed well. You know, in theory that does sound quite good. So meanwhile, they're trying to film. You know, they got the girl tied to the bed. You know, they're basically remaking The Exorcist. There's a vicar who is here on the front cover, and you know, they're trying to do that, and meanwhile this Katie's interfering with it. She's messing things up, etc. And very suddenly they realise that the girl playing the Exorcist, the possessed girl, actually gets possessed, and they start to get killed one by one. People start to get possessed to kill themselves, etc. And very quickly they realise that the guy in the vicar, you get him to actually read the script, because the script was taken exactly from an Exorcist, and they believe that if they tie her up, do this, it will save the woman. So they do that, but it turns out that this passage should only be read by a man of the cloth, and it backfires. leaving, which is, you know, that's pretty much the film, to be honest. So then there's someone running around the forest for 10 minutes getting chased, this, that and that. And that is basically the entire film summed up there for you in a couple of minutes. That's how long it took me. No, nothing really complex, nothing original, mainly new. And there was one really good jump scene at the end, which I seen coming, but it scared the living poop out of my camera lady here. But then again, a lot of things scare her. You know, I think I was watching a cartoon the other day and she jumped. So yeah, it doesn't take much to scare her, but it did scare the hell out of her, but you know, I've seen it coming. And there was a lot of frustrating things there. The acting was terrible, very bad. The main guy, he did seem to put quite a bit of effort in. He was okay. The effects were average, below average, I'm going to say, even for a low budget film. I don't think of any positives about this film. There was, you know, I enjoyed it. I had a laugh, but mainly at the film's expense, to be completely honest with you. So, just, you know, despite that, I'm going to say avoid this film. I wouldn't bother wasting 73 minutes unless you want to skip the first 50 and just watch the last 23. I mean, it was full of really annoying things, like, for example, with it being a found footage film, you know, the demon would be doing something, yet the guy would have this camera pointed to his own face, filming his own reaction, which, you know, made no sense. Whatever. Do you know what I mean? Which I find out a lot of found footage films, to be honest. They film the most weird stuff, like there'll be some shit going on there, and they'll be recording his own face, his own reactions. So just imagine him stood there with a camera pointing at himself, like, it just makes no sense. Anyway, yeah, so that is pretty much my review of Exorcism. Overall, for this film, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, because it did make me laugh a little bit. Have you got a rating?
Yeah, probably the same.
Okay, so 2 4 out of 10s for Exorcism. So again, it is a 101 film, which is the only reason I picked this up. The only reason I spent £3 on it. So I would avoid watching this unless you love Exorcist and you want to watch anything that tries to mimic it, copy it, advance it, whatever. So yeah, that's my review of the 2014 Exorcism. Thank you for checking that video out. Please feel free to subscribe and check out lots of other reviews, and I'm sure I'll be able to point you in the right direction to some really good films. So thank you for watching and have a good day.